si pemandu taksi. Ya.
The rise of ride-hailing app services such as Uber and Grab has revolutionized the transportation industry in Malaysia, providing a convenient and affordable alternative to traditional taxis. However, this change has also led to conflict between traditional taxi drivers and app-based drivers. Traditional taxi drivers have argued that this arrival of these app-based services has disrupted the industry, leading to a decline in business and income for traditional drivers. On the other hand, app-based drivers argue that traditional taxi industry is inefficient and outdated, and that the arrival of these app-based services has provided a much-needed alternative for passengers. As for the conflict, the growth of ride-hailing platforms such as Uber and Grab has led to significant conflict between traditional taxis and these app-based services. A major source of tension is the competitions for customers, as the traditional taxi drivers claim that ride-hailing companies have an unfair advantages due to their exemption for certain regulation and fees. Next, the employment status of drivers of ride-hailing companies, as the traditional taxi drivers are generally full of part-timer employees, while ride-hailing are classified as independent contractors. Another conflict arises is about the safety of ride-hailing services, with some traditional taxi drivers arguing that these companies do not have same level of safety standard as traditional companies.
Thank you, Sarah. In my part, I would like to tell you about the factor that contributes to the conflict between taxi driver and Grab driver application in Malaysia. There are 6 factors that contributes to this conflict: safety of the passenger, availability of transportation, fast and cheap services, urgency, and freedom of travelling. And lastly, economical. Previous or local studies, people prefer to use Grab services instead of taxi services. Due to high demand, Grab services fee are increasing. This causes people to switch back from Grab services to taxi services. Passengers tend to feel safe while using Grab services instead of taxi services. This is because passengers, especially women, tend to get sexual harassment by taxi drivers. That's all from me. I'll pass it to the next person.
Thank you, Sarah. There are many conflicts between taxi drivers and Grab application drivers in terms of ethics, safety, health, environment, and community. First of all, in terms of ethics, it is a toxic culture. Taxi driver feels unfair because Grab driver does not need to go through Puspakom for automobile assessment while they do. Next, in terms of safety, both taxis and Grab are unsafe due to several cases of sexual harassment, murder, and robbery. In addition, taxis and Grab drivers are driving more recklessly to make more money by transferring more people faster. A case study found that most of the taxi drivers are older than a Grab driver. Humans experience health issues as they age. These taxi drivers might have a health issue that could affect their driving. In terms of community, taxi drivers pick up passengers at a designated taxi stand, whereas Grab will pick up the passenger using the Grab app. Next, despite having several payment options, taxi only accept cash, while Grab can accept cash, QR, and debit card payment. In terms of environment, both taxi and Grab emit hydrocarbon, carbon monoxide, and hydrogen oxide, which are the cause for air pollution.
Next, the suggestion for the problem is to provide training and incentive to traditional taxi driver to adopt new technology, or to provide them with opportunities to work as driver for ride-hailing companies such as Uber and Grab. By doing this, traditional taxi drivers can stay competitive in the market and reduce the gap between traditional taxi drivers and ride-hailing drivers such as Uber or Grab. This could include things like offering training on how to use the apps and the technologies used by ride-hailing service, or providing financial assistance to help traditional taxi drivers purchase or lease the new vehicle.
Thank you, Nasli. Now I'm talking about the lesson learned. First of all, you should maintain the balance of Uber or Grab's and taxi industry. It has launched a service, for example, the Just Grab service, which assigns each booking to the closest vehicle. It can be taxi or private automobile, eliminating any discrimination between them. Besides, our government may speak with Uber or Grab's and taxi community about enhancing and completing first and last mile connectivity. It is well known that we are constantly working to improve our public transportation system. Furthermore, we should truly believe that the expansion of public transportation is primarily driven by and benefits all taxi and private vehicles. Now I'm talking about conclusions. The growth of ride-hailing platforms lead to significant conflict between traditional taxi drivers and these app-based services. In order to be fair to our community of Uber or Grab and taxi drivers, as well as to our government's initiative to improve Malaysian access to transportation and inclusive opportunities, some lessons should be made according to the fact on the sentiments. No one, in our opinion, should be denied the chance to freely contribute to our country. Thank you.